Shabbat Shalom to all of you. We are almost at the, in the middle of the month of Elul, getting closer and closer to the time of the high holidays. The month of Elul is a month for us Jewish people. Traditionally, it's a month of searching and introspection, looking within ourselves. Elul is a month of asking us very difficult questions. It's the month of making a balance. In a budget, you have a sheet balance in which you make a balance, of the year. How much you have made, how you make earnings, or you have lost, what is your balance in your life. And all of us, we make a balance. This is the time to make a balance during this year. What are the things that I succeed? What are the things I fail? What are the things that I need to redo? What are the things that I need to make and confront with myself? This is always starting with you. I have been speaking to you over and over again that if you do not know yourself, how can you help others to know themselves? And we're constantly struggling with ourselves. And you will be surprised that all of us, especially those ones that we are parents, those that we have children, we do not realize how we influence our children only with our behavior, without words. Our behavior speaks louder than our words. Sometimes there is statements say, do what I tell you, don't do what I do. And that is sad, but it's true. All of us, and I am number one on that. Thinking, I don't want that you feel like I am talking at you. I am talking with you. All of us together in this. I am not better than any of you, and neither we are all in the same basket. We're going to call it that way. And we need to get out of that. In this parasha, is a little bit controversial even among the rabbis, because there is a confession. The confession is at the beginning that we just read in this parasha. And the confession it is, I used to be not wandering. It doesn't say wandering. I used to be a slave of the Arami, okay, the Aramaic. That is talking about Laban and talking about Jacob. It's not talking about Abraham Avinu, by the way, as many people have read commentaries. They don't understand the Hebrew language. They don't understand the basics of our traditions and who we are. But what is important here is that the rabbis start. There was a big discussion. Can a proselyte can do this confession when he brings to God? He brings the first fruit to the Creator. My father was a slave from Aram, from the Aramaic, and that he fled to Egypt. How many of the proselytes, their father is Jacob? They could say that, and there is a discussion among rabbis, as usually it is, and you have heard this saying, to use three opinions. Finally, the word of wisdom comes from some of the rabbis. One of those is my dear friend, Rabbi Maimonides, and he basically, the teaching here is this. There is in the scriptures a very good notion about the spiritual sonship. What it means is that you don't necessarily need to have the blood relationship, but you need to have that spiritual relationship. And those who have come to that point are the true Israel. It's interesting. as you have heard me many times talking about the same thing, who is a Jew? And we are so messed up. Our dear rabbis, they say, they change it. Who is a Jew? You know, they impose the idea that being a Jew is through the mother. The Torah teaches that it's through the father. You know, and that already, who do you believe? Do you believe the Torah or do you believe the men? What Jeremiah Hanabi, the prophet Jeremiah, say? Cursed be the man who trusts in men, blessed be the man who trusts in the Creator. Then, what I'm trying to tell you is this. Being part of Israel is all of those who have been called by him. You have a special calling. You know, I have talked to you later many times about how many people want to be converted. And we talk about conversion. And you know, every religion has a section about conversion. Every religion. Doesn't matter who religion, they are going to convert you. You know, and say to you, converted to what? You know, to the religion. It's one thing. But nobody can be converted to the Creator. You know why? Because all of us, we belong to him. All of us, without exception. He is not only the creator of Israel in the sense that we see, or he's not only the creator of me. He created the universe. That's the reason that he's the Boreolam. He's the creator of the world. Then many people have come to this place asking me, Rabbi, I want to be a Jew. And I say, you know, I get static. I say, what do you want to be a Jew? You know, well, I think they are the one that they have the true and none. I say, all those ones who call Jews, not necessarily are Jews, and not all of those who call Israelites, they really follow the God of Israel. You need to be careful about labels. And you need to be careful about to be in a religion without understanding who do you follow. The Creator asks us to be faithful to him, not to men. And we are changing. If you compare the revelation of Sinai, the revelation of Mount Horeb, today, we are thousands and thousands and thousands and millions of miles separated one from the other. Why? Because men keep accumulating things that the wisdom of men substitute the revelation of the Creator. And we are in that situation. We want it or not. Why many people who come through this community come and go? Because what they are looking is for what? Form, for religion. And when I don't give them enough religion, they get upset because they want to be religious. Instead, to have a relationship with the Creator. And many of us, we do not understand what it means, a relationship with the Creator. You know, some of you have said, Rabbi, you need to give us practical examples. You know, because I don't know what it means. What it means how to keep the Torah. How do it mean to be a living Torah? What it means this and what it means that. You know, the Creator taught us over and over is saying, do what is right and is good on his eyes. Do what is right and good on his eyes. And how do you know what is right and good on his eyes? Because he has revealed to us and he has given us his insight is in us. We are living of his spirit is in us. And then you are going to know that if you are walking with him, if you have a relationship with him, in a very practical way, you are going to know if you are doing right or wrong. I can assure you that there is something in you that doesn't allow you, even if you do it wrong, or you insist to do it wrong, there's something in you that doesn't make you feel good. You know that. But this is the problem. That is the best problem that we have. You see, we become such liars. We become such hypocrites. Okay? that we start lying to ourselves. And we start believing those lies. And we think to be good means, you know what? I am not like the others. To be good means I don't do what they do. To be good is I don't say what they say. Give me a break. Don't put yourself in holier than thou. Be honest with yourself. All of us, we are human beings, and we have our limitations. There is no perfection in men. We were created in that way. Why? Because our Creator limited himself, and that sounds terrible, but I want to tell you why. Because he gave us Bechirah of Shear. He gave us free will. And the free will was for all of us to respond to him according to us, not according to him. He is not monitoring us to do what he wants for us to do. He's giving the freedom for us to decide. That's the reason that the love to God is a response to him, comes from us. You know, I have mentioned to you many times, true love cannot be imposed. True love cannot be forced. Husband and wife. Your wife or your husband cannot be imposed to love you. Needs to come from the person freely. If you impose to your mate to love you, the only thing that you get is nothing. Because it's going to be forced on the other person. The other person is not normal and is not genuine. The same way our Creator is doing with us. He doesn't want to impose on us that you must love him. No. Needs to come from you. If you desire, you realize what he is. And this is the reason there is a process of the whole life. Learning little by little, step by step, about what he has done to you. And you know how you learn that through the time? It's through the time. Younger than you are, the only thing that you see is what they do. Let me put it in this way. Most of the children, they know that their parents love them. Why they know that they love them? Not because they give a lot of candy, but they know that they love them because their parents are there, they take care of them, they provide the things that they needed. And they accept it. And what they do? They reciprocate. That is the beginning of the true love with the Creator. We realize about our Heavenly Father, how much He gave us and how He treated us. And we really are grateful for everything. And we fall in love with Him. We want Him. And we return the love. Return the love. We can avoid it. We can say, I don't want anything from you. How many children have said to their parents, I wish that you are dead, or I wish I never was born. I have done a lot of family counseling, and you will be surprised how many children has spoken against their parents. And you know what? The fourth commandment and the fifth commandment are made for us and for our blessing, to rest and to honor our father and our mother. Well, here we are getting at the end. In Elul, we need to search for ourselves. This is the portion that we call it the tochecha, the part of the rebuke, the warnings. Here at the beginning it says you are going to be blessed, you do what I am commanding you to do. I am teaching you to do. The word commanding sounds too strong. What it says is to follow what my advice to you. That's the 10 commandments are principles of life, to have a good life. I am giving you this for you to have a fulfilled life. But in chapter 28, verse 15 to be exact, he said, but if you do not follow and obey these commandments, you are going to suffer the consequences. That is a good warning to us. No, and many of us, we take it as, oh, he's threatening me. No, he's advising you. You know, when the Lord said to you, don't go more than 100 miles per hour, supposedly, you know. If you go 200 miles, you know, and you have an accident, you're going to blame that they didn't tell you? You were warned. Now the consequences of the accident. The same idea comes from our Creator. And sometimes we do not understand as parents. What we constantly say to our children, don't do this and don't do that. Because we have experiences and because we know what is good for them. You know, when you say to a child, don't go with these children or don't play with these children, it's because you are a racist or you are better than them. No, because you know that maybe these children don't have the values and the principles that you are teaching to them. Today, it's very difficult for young parents, you know, when they send their children to, to the public school. Because the public school, now they have their values. And the values of the public school are totally different to the values of the Torah. Not only totally different, but are contrary to the values of the Torah. And then you as a parent, you are in a very big dilemma. What do you do? Then the only thing that you need to do is to teach the children what is right. And they, with the time, they're going to see what you have told them was right. Well, here start with this, in this parasha, what is interesting. We begin with the confession. There are three confessions here, really, in this chapter 26. But one of the things is about this thing. Once I have given you the land, okay, once I have given you the land, you need to conquer the land. You need to possess it. And then when you possess the land, what you do? You work the land. No, you need to work it. And then when after you work the land, it's going to have to produce. Now, already in that simple statement that I am giving to you, what the Creator is saying? Is He giving you everything in a silver plate? No. He's saying to you, this is going to be your place, but you need to work for it. Nothing is giving you in a silver plate. You need to do an effort. You need to work. Work is good. And many of us, we have this mentality. Oh, because we are the chosen people. We have been chosen by God. Now, God chose my parents, and now I am chosen. And for that reason, I deserve entitlements. I have told you before that we are living in a generation of the entitlement. Most of the children now, they think that they deserve something because they were born in this world. You know? You own me, they say to their parents. You own me. Instead to be just the opposite. Instead to be the opposite, that the children would take care of their parents. Today, we are seeing that the parents are taking care of their children. This is what is wrong. And I'm going to tell you what is wrong. The wrong is not the children. The wrong are the parents who didn't teach the children what is right and what is wrong. We are in a situation right now that we are in chaotic situation. We're in chaos. All over the world is totally in chaos. Doesn't matter if I tell you there is war there or there is here and there. All the situation is chaotic. You know, all the religions of the world are not helping at all. They are not any help for nothing. And everybody is according to the ending of the book of Judges. Everyone now is doing according to their own. They think, everyone thinks their way is the best way. What to waste our time with the wisdom of the Creator? What to waste our time with His Word, with His blessings? We are now smarter than God Himself. That many of them, they say that. What do we need God? I have had discussion with people who, they tell me in straight face, what do I need God? I have myself. And they have told me that. And you know, I only look at them and I understand them. Because one time in my life, I used to be a professional atheist. I say professional because I really believe it. And I thought that only the ignorant people could believe in God. Then later on, with the time, God in His mercy, blessed be His name, He was the one that was giving me a little more and more light. And finally, I was able to see things that I couldn't see on my own. How many of us right now, may I ask you this question? Right now, in this moment I am talking to you, how many of us we think that we are doing right? Are you going to dare to say that I am wrong? Of course no, I am right. But as you start examining yourself very deep within yourself, you are going to find a lot of shortcuts, I call it. And you're going to see yourself on the truth. You see, you talk about the other people don't change. What about yourself? What about us? We expect other people to change, no? What about us? And this is the idea about the first fruits, the tithing to God. To bring to Him our first fruits, the fruits of our hands, our fruits of our labor, everything, the first one. We have a story in Bereshit. Two brothers, Cain and Abel. You know, and it's very interesting, the interpretation of Cain and Abel, especially for certain religions, that they do not understand at all what it means, the lev, the heart, the intention, the knowing God, to have an intimate relationship with God. Because this is the inside, this is the nutshell of our relationship with God. Knowing Him from here, to have a relationship with Him. Cain and Abel, two brothers. This is like a metaphor, no? You can make a real it to you, but it's more like a parable, illustration. But it's a beautiful illustration, a beautiful story. You have one brother, and you have the older brother. And the older brother, they each one produce different things. At the end of the production, at the end of the year that has produced, they go and they're going to bring their first things to the Creator. They are going to bring the first thing to the Creator. First question I need to ask to you in order to search this idea. Is the Creator excited about what they're going to bring to Him? That the Creator needs to eat? That the Creator is hungry? Think about that. Then they come, and suddenly he received with joy one of the brothers, and the other brother he doesn't receive it with joy. Totally the contrary. Almost doesn't accept what they brought, what he brought to him. The one that received it with joy, happy and loving the Creator and thanking him for everything that he had given to him. And the other one is with long face, very upset, and start getting upset with his own brother. And he say, our Heavenly Father has preference. He prefers my brother than me. I don't understand why. Because both we brought him the same things. He brought animals because he had a cattle man, but I brought my vegetable because I was a farmer. We brought what we planted, what we work on. Then why he's upset with me and he's so happy with him? Most of the religious theologians, they say, the reason is because Abel brought an animal and sacrificed it under blood. Oh, they love the blood. They are thirsty with the blood. Everything is blood. And the poor Cain didn't have any blood. Then he presented only dry items, vegetables. They don't bleed. Then God didn't like it because he has enough blood. He was a vampire. This is the problem with the religious people. They teach you wrong things. The essence of the message is here. Our Creator knew the heart of Cain and knew the heart of Abel. Abel brought the first things with joy. Cain said, I need to let me get whatever you find there, let's put it there. Don't give it the best. That was the difference, was here. The intention of the heart. That is the basis for everything, and this is the basis for this parasha. The God, the Creator, blessed be His name, He gives it to you. And He says, I am giving you these principles for you to have life in abundance. Then later on in the next Sabine, you are going to see that He's going to say, I give you here to choose life or death. I ask you to choose life. Let me ask you this question. What are you choosing during every day of your life? Are you choosing life or are you choosing death? Now, why the tithing is so important for us human beings? I hear it saying that one person used to say, the last thing to convert a person is the pockets. Everybody wants to be converted to a religion, but the last thing that they want to convert is their pocket. What is the pocket? You know, in a beautiful message, our Messiah Yeshua, in the so-called Sermon on the Mountain, he speaks about wealth and giving. No? And one of the things he says at the end, he talked about the Ajin Ra and the Ajin Tov. The Ajin Ra, the evil eye, and Ajin Tov, the good eye. And you read the whole message. Let me give you an idea, because maybe not all of you. In Matthew, from verse 19 to verse 24. Chapter 6. Yashuv. He said, this is what we have from Rabbi Shaul, Rabbi Yeshua. Do not store treasures upon yourself on earth, where the moth and the woodworm destroy them, and thieves can break in and steal. But store up treasures for yourself in heaven. That is a euphemistic term to say, to try to put it on the Creator. Where neither moth nor woodworm destroy them, and thieves cannot break it and steal it. For wherever your treasure is, listen carefully here. Wherever your treasure is, there will be your heart too. We need to understand the word lev in the biblical Hebraistic understanding. What does mean heart in the Hebraistic understanding? Intention, knowledge, action, doing. It's all of that. That is will. The lev is will. That's what God has given us, Bechirah, free will. Then, where are you accumulating? What is your treasures? That's in your heart. What do you consider the most important? That's what your heart is. Then, this portion that is totally, terribly misunderstood and mistranslated, because that is the problem when you go from the Hebrew to the Greek, and then from the Greek to the English or the other language, because to translate idiomatic expressions, you cannot translate it literal. And when you do not know the idiomatic expression, you have problems. For example, in Spanish, when somebody is bothering you, you say, no, no me tomes el pelo. What I mean, a literal translation in English means, don't take my hair. Okay? And if I say in English to somebody, English speaker, don't take my hair, what is he talking about? But if I say, don't pull my leg, But if I say in Spanish, no me jales la pierna, I think I know other things, no what in that. Okay? Then you need to understand. The idiomatic expressions need to be given. For example, I used to use this expression, no? Guerra avisada no mata gente. How do you translate that in English? When you declare the war, nobody can be killed? No, there is other ways to say it, no? When you know that something is going to, if you are warned about something, it's better that you don't do it. There is an expression in English, I don't know in this month. Forewarned is forearmed. You see? And that makes sense. But guerra avisada no mata gente. Who's going to understand? This is the problem with idiomatic expressions. And here say, look at what is the translation here. The lamp is the body and is the eye. And if your eye is clear, your whole body is filled with light. But if your eye is diseased, your whole body will be darkness. If then the light inside you is darkness, what darkness can be? Darkness that will be. Trying to understand that, you want to be a rocket scientist. Very simple. In Hebraism, there is a yin ra and a yin tov, a good eye and a bad eye. By the way, we Jewish people, we use all the time the bad eye. Be careful with the bad eye. You know? But what it means? A good eye is a person who is totally clear, open. doesn't have any cosmetics. And is open with his hand. Money that can be, you always see the palm of the hand. Okay? A bad eye is the one that is tight, the one that you never know what it is, and you always doubt about that person. Okay? A bad eye, you don't know what it has inside the hand. It's tight. Are you a good eye that you give? Or you are a bad eye that you don't give even to yourself? Because that is a true statement, by the way. Sometimes I suffer of bad eye. And then people tell me how bad eyes I have and I need to change, repent. Okay? But that's it. Then, this is what I say, don't be a bad eye. And then look at the end. No one can be a slave of two masters. He will either hate the first one and love the second, or he be attached to the first one and despise the second. You cannot be a slave of both. You cannot love God and Mammon. Who do you love? What do you treasure? Are you a good eye or a bad eye? That is the reason that go back to the parashat of this week, because I don't want to think that I am taking this out of context. Verse 12 of chapter 26. On the third year, the tithing year, when you have finished taking the tithe of your whole income and has given to the Levite and to the foreigner, to the orphan, to the poor, to all in your town, they may sit in their. You must sit in your heart's content. You must be happy, joyful, in the presence of the Lord your God, and you must say, "Look, I have done. I am happy. I am full of joy because I done what is right, and I feel good." Do you know that when you do something right, you feel good? You don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that you did something good, you feel good. It's normal. That's how God made us. And then he said, I have cleared my house, what is consecrated, yes, I have given to the Levite, to the foreigner, to the orphan, to the widow, in accordance with all the commandments that you have given to me, neither going beyond your commandments or neglecting them. When I was mourning, I had no eating, and when I'm clean, I had no taking away, and when I'm not, I had not given anything to the dead. These three injunctions, by the way, that's given to you is dealing with idolatry. At that time, do you know, even still today, there are certain group of people that they go to their cemeteries and to the dead people, and they put food to their deaths. Or some people go and, they have a picnic, and they eat. Or they go to their temples, they go to the shrines, and they feed their gods. The monkeys are very happy when they eat. Anyway, and they say here, no, we have not done that. And then he say, verse 15, look down from your holy dwellings from heaven and bless your people Israel and the country which you have given to us, that you swore to our ancestors, the land of flowing the milk and honey. What is it saying here? Our Creator, I am glad that you have given me a life. I have been able to follow your commandments and have done what is right. And because of that, I have a sense not only of blessing, because you are blessing me, but I have a sense of security. I have a sense of thanking you for what you have done. Chapter 27, verse 10 to trying to finish as soon as possible. It says, today you have become my special people, my Ansegula, and you must listen to the voice of the Lord your God and observe his commandments and his injunctions, his hukim and mishpatim, for I will lie down to you today. Observe them. I mean, observe means, means obey, shamarta, to keep it and do it. And chapter 28, when it's going to start the kalal, the curses. But if you do not obey the voice of the Lord your God, and do not keep and observe his commandments and his ordinances, I am laying down for you today, then, all these curses that will befall and overtake you. Guerra avisada no mata gente. I need to tell you this. We are getting closer and closer to the high holidays. We're getting closer to Yom Teruah, Rosh Hashanah, and we're getting closer to Yom HaKippurim, Yom Kippur. That is the time that I say to you, we start doing our balance of our lives. We are opening our books of us. As our traditions say, we need to be sure that our names are written in the book of life. The only way that our names can be written in the book of life, it is if we are doing what is right before God. And if we are not doing it, we need to make it right. He is the one that looks at us. I told you about Teshuvah. Teshuvah is no mea culpa, mea culpa, mea culpa, mea culpa. We love to do that on Yom Kippur, all la culpa. We pronounce things that we have never even heard in our life, in case. And I say, instead to be pronouncing names that you have never heard, why we are not a little bit more honest with ourselves, and we start making a cheat balance of ourselves, and making things, the gains and the lost. And then we see in which side we are, and what we can do to balance our personal budget of our lives. Because you see, when you bring God, what God is asking you to bring the first fruits. You are the first fruit for him. You need to come to him first in order to bring everything else. And to come to him, that was the same thing from the beginning. That had not changed when they had the korbanot, the offerings to the Creator. The korbanot, you needed to bring it. And to bring it to the Creator, you needed to be clean, right with yourself before you could get in there. Do you think that the Creator doesn't know exactly who you are? Who we are? Do you think that we can fool him with little gifts? Do you think that we can buy him? Because that is the problem of many of us. Oh, I'm going to give charity in order to make points for God, that God look at with good eyes. I told you, he doesn't need almsgiving. He doesn't need limosna. What he needs is us to give ourselves first. Have you searched within yourself? Have you looked within yourself? Is there any area that needs a little bit of strengthening, a little bit of clarity? If there is something that you are failing that needs to be put in order? Are you clear with yourself? Are you honest with yourself? Because we are the most dishonest people, we ourselves. We pass everything down. Don't talk to me about that. Don't look at me. I do that. Do you think I'm telling you because I am smart? No. I am telling you this because I'm going through the same thing. It's not better than anybody else. We go through the process. And this time of the year, we need to go through that process. And it's a beautiful time, believe me, it's not a terrible time. Even that, we call it the terrible times, you know? But it is a time in which you have the opportunity to make right with yourself, and you can make right with others, but especially right with Him. May the Lord bless you and keep you and give you all His presence in you to the point that you're going to have a wonderful time during this time, this period of the time of consolation, time of Rahamim, that the Lord, the Chesed of the Creator, that is giving His love to us to make it right. May Him abide in each one of us, and His presence bless us in such a way that give us clarity in this time of darkness. Shabbat Shalom.